and make special like materials and stuff to shield from the dangerous radiation that they're going to go.
What was the circuit? Well, how big were the spaces in the circuits of the microcircuits in the Apollo era versus modern?
That's not what he asked. He asked you about the shielding.
Look, the answer is simple.
Wasn't it all figured out back then?
The answer is simple. Computer systems are much more delicate today, and they are wreaked havoc by this kind of radiation. So right now, our computer systems will get destroyed if we don't improve our radiation. And secondly, like I said, we've now learned that we did not protect the guys well enough the first time through. So we need better shielding. And thirdly, we're talking about Orion's going to go to Mars, and because they're going to go through in space for much longer, they can't use up their allotment of radiation exposure the way the Apollo guys could. They could use up that Van Allen belt because they're only going to be out there for 6 days total. So yeah, they used up like 4 years of their radiation in one moment. But that was okay because they're only there for 6 days. When you go to Mars, you can't use up 4 years in 15 minutes because you're going to be out there for 6 months. You're going to use up too much. So you have to get through that Van Allen belt with more safety.
I'm sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fact that we're arguing over men going into outer space to Mars.
Well, it's really not useful to laugh and interrupt like that. Like, I'm making a point. The point's valid. That's the reason why the Orion has to solve the problem in a better way, in a different way than we did before.
Maybe it's just to postpone the fact that they can't go.
They can go. They will go.
That's not true. They can go.
Yeah,
they've had 50 years to come up with a shielding, right?
I want to answer you.
3 more years to go.
I'll just say this. The thing is we didn't go there, and if we didn't go there, it's nice to know why we didn't go there. And it's nice to know how it happened.
We did go. We did.
No. That's a quote from Buzz Aldrin.
That was
not true. That's not a quote.
He was talking about going to McDonald's.
If you watch the context of that one, you can tell he's not saying that. He literally spent his whole discussion talking about his trip to the moon. And so what he's saying to the kid is, if we stopped going, then we need to know why we stopped going, and that means like if the funding went away or whatever. Yeah,
nice to know why we didn't go.
Why we didn't go back?
He said we didn't go
back. But what he means is that we didn't go back. And the actual quote is actually when you really look at the exact words, it's fine.
He's in his head.
No, if you listen to the actual quote, it's fine. It works perfectly with the. Hey, Rakia, stop interrupting. If you listen to the actual quote, you'll see that it makes perfect sense with the context that I'm saying. Is actually what he says is something that is completely not what you're saying.
Okay, so the girl asked, "Why haven't we been to the moon in so long?" He then says, "If we didn't go there, the thing is, we didn't go there, and if we didn't go there, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So then we can do what we can do better the next time."
And he said that's my question.
In so long means in the intervening time between when we stopped going there and now.
What does
but he
we
also
didn't
said
go
we
there
did
mean?
not go there.
What does we didn't go there mean?
Yeah.
He means after we finished the Apollo program, we didn't go back. That's what he means.
That's exactly what he means.
Think about this for a second. Think about this for a second rationally. You think that he's saying this was all a hoax, and then he's going to talk more about how he went to the moon? How does that make any sense?
I think he let it slip out. Yeah.
He said it
I think he's drunk and it slipped. That's what I think.
Yeah, he's drunk.
Here's the actual quote that the guy just butchered. So here's what he actually said. He said, that's not an 8-year-old's question. The question was, why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time? Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time? That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. That's what I want to know. But I think I know. I think it's because we didn't go there. And that's the way it happened. And it didn't happen. It's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, that we need to know why something stopped in the past. If we want to keep it going in the future. So he's saying,
I think we didn't go there.
Yeah.
Because she's asking.
They're incapable.
Well, let me ask you this. When he says we need to understand why we stopped doing something in the past, which he's talking about stopped going to the moon.
Is that
we didn't go there?
He caught himself and he made a comeback there. He goes, what the hell?
Come on, that's ridiculous.
There goes my message.
Because it's a pile of shit with no commercial value.
His whole time talking about his time on the moon, and then he's going to finish it up by somehow, that's just silliness. Come on.
He obviously said
it has no commercial value to the military.
All over talking each other.
Military strategic
They're
value.
totally unable. to understand simple English.
So,
All right, Blue's going to explain it to us. Good morning, Blue.
I can't explain the context of any damn, or understand the context of any damn thing.
Let's take
So-
the point where he said, "I think we didn't go
Then
there."
explain.
Let's start
Then
there.
explain.
right.
Explain that.
And it has been explained. She wants to know why we haven't been to the moon in such a long time. And he said, because we haven't been.
Because we haven't been. That's what he said.
No, he said, "I think
So
we didn't go there." Read it
If we
again.
didn't,
Maybe I
it's nice to
misheard.
know why
Read it
we
again.
haven't.
Yeah, you did.
No, let
You
him
missed
not read it again.
everything.
No, you're wrong,
Hey,
Rakia. You're
Scott,
wrong,
read
Rakia.
it.
You didn't hear
Scott,
Then
that.
read
read
it
it.
again. Read it again.
I will. Hey, Rakia,
missed
stop
everything.
interrupting. I'll read it again, but you just misheard it, and I'll read it again.
Yeah.
You'll see how.
Of course we did.
Okay, who is that guy that keeps doing that? I'm just gonna mute you, dude. You're like too much.
Mute me, man.
That's Curved.
So long,
That's Curved.
fellas.
His name is Curved. You know it.
Does
He's
he
here
need-
every
do you-
day.
do you need-
That's who
should-
keeps interrupting
is it-
and saying nothing.
Hey, Rakia,
Correct.
you're interrupting again. You're interrupting again.
When you were saying I was interrupting, I was on mute a while ago.
And
That was
lying.
Curved.
And
You're
lying.
interrupting right now, dude. You're interrupting. You just feel like you have to talk about everything, huh?
No, you're going to mute
So you
someone
wanna hear
when
the
they don't
quote or
need to be muted. It was Curved interrupting.
Do you want to hear
You're
the quote?
unfair
Or-
to
He's
Rakia.
lying.
Come on, Scott. Come on,
You
man.
fucking
I don't
cunt.
think that's true. I think that Rakia is unfair to us, to be honest with you. I think he's obnoxious and rude.
No,
And I think that he
every
is-
time he says something, you guys jump on him. It's like you have a thing for him. Come on.
It's because he's obnoxious and rude. All right, so
No,
here's
he's
the
not.
What's
We're
your
like
feelings?
you, and you guys are
What's
like
your
30.
feelings about
Understand that.
Curved,
Okay,
Tim Scott?
okay.
I never hear you mention
Am I reading
anything
the quote
about
or
Curved.
not? Am I reading the quote or not? I don't care either way, but do we want to hear it again or not? Do you want to hear why you were wrong, Rakia?
Do it, bro. Do it.
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. That's what I want to know. But I think I know because we didn't go there.
Do it, Adrian. Do it. Adrian.
So what does that mean, Scott? Because we didn't go there. What
It
do those
means-
words mean to you?
It means that we had an opportunity to go back and we didn't do it. We just didn't do it.
But you're
we
adding
haven't done it,
context
and we're
there.
not
He
doing
never
it.
said back when he was talking
I'm
about
not.
that. You're adding stuff, Scott.
Well, he
Don't
does.
you
If you
understand that?
if you listen to the whole. Okay, well, here's the rest of the quote so you can remember how it ended. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why we stopped. So why we stopped implies that we were doing it. We stopped, and he says we need to know why.
Yes. So
Yeah,
my
why we
question
stopped
is,
trying to go to the moon because we never went there. Yeah, why we stopped
Yeah.
No,
trying.
he's saying why we stopped
No.
going. And so
Rocky.
look, it's very clear what he means. It's like we can quibble about it all day long, but if you guys want to believe that, you guys can believe
Well,
that.
Scott,
It's obviously
here's the-
wrong.
Scott,
The
here's
man's
the main
entire
issue.
persona has been to describe his trip to the moon. Is literally what he just spent an hour doing in that context. He's
But
clearly
Scott,
referring to the fact
Scott,
that we
here's-
didn't go back.
Scott, here's the issue. Him saying this, I'll read it. He said, we didn't go there, and if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So that's more specific than just saying if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something
It didn't.
stopped.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen means we didn't go back.
Of course.
Right.
No, he makes two references.
No,
It
that's
didn't
what
happen.
There's either
It
context.
didn't happen.
Here's the only two options. There's either context in what he's talking about, which is what we're arguing, or he's just an old senile man that suddenly, in the middle of talking about his life as the astronaut that went to the moon, he had a malfunction, and then he just started rambling like a drunken idiot about how we never went and it was all a big lie. Even though he
I
doesn't
think
say
we
that,
all
it
know
implies that.
Okay,
It
okay.
implies
Yeah, I
that.
think we all know where the malfunction. We know where the malfunction is. And it
We
isn't
can all
with him.
agree he had a Biden moment. Hey, I do have
You
a
guys,
question.
you guys
I do
heard
have
the
a
saying.
question
You want to
about
know
the landing.
who you're dealing with? Get him drunk and have a conversation with him.
He's
Okay.
not
Hear that
drunk,
saying?
dude.
Oh,
Let's
he's
move on.
always drunk.
Quick question.
He's not drunk.
Not drunk.
It slipped out, guys. It just slipped out.
You're telling,
Okay.
dude, you can hear the way he
Quick
talks. He's a drunkard.
question.
He's constantly drunk.
I think he's just old. I thought it was
Oh.
Armstrong that was the drunk.
Okay,
No,
so
Buzz
Scott,
Aldrin's the drunk. Because they assassinated his mom. But go on, whoever wanted to say something.
yeah, whenever they were leaving the moon, what kind of tripod did they use to film? You know how the camera
Oh, yeah.
follows What
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
I like to see that tripod.
Oh no,
This is remote
dude,
controlled.
that's because Nixon was controlling the camera from the White House. He was
No
through the
one
radio
Nixon,
wave.
dude. Just relax.
You just jackass.
Okay.
They
With
ran
his
a
mind,
telephone
with his
wire
mind,
from
he's
the
doing-
White House to the moon. I hear.
Oh, yeah,
So
exactly.
Nixon
I mean,
could make
guys,
a call.
like seriously,
Was it- hear me
it's
out.
It's like
Was it remote?
what is so hard about basic engineering technology that you guys think it has to be like so
so,
incredulous?
Scott,
I just want to know
this
what is so difficult about it?
This
Okay,
is a
Scott,
basic question.
do you know what batteries the LEM had?
No.
No, I'll tell you.
What batteries?
Regular off-the-shelf truck batteries, which they modified. Do you know
Okay,
what
cool.
power source the orbiter had?
Nuclear
There's a fuel cell,
Well,
hydrogen
fuel
fuel
too.
cell.
Correct. It was a hydrogen fuel cell. Now, they charged the LEM before it landed. Now, do you think a
Okay.
bunch of truck batteries are enough to sustain life, oxygen, and transmit energy, transmit radio and TV signals to Earth? Do you think truck batteries have enough energy to do that for a few days?
No way.
Wait,
I think they've looked at the math of this many times, and you just refuse to even look at it.
wait. Are you saying they're the same batteries that a golf cart uses?
Kind of like, yeah, they were off-the-shelf truck batteries, from what I know, and they modified
And so
them.
that's the only source of power they had with these batteries?
They weren't off the shelf. They modified them, didn't they?
Yeah, they modified them. Yeah.
They weren't
They weren't-
silver oxide zinc batteries. Those aren't used in trucks. What are you talking about?
Dude, the point
It's not a
is,
lead
they were
acid battery.
regular
Truck battery is a lead acid battery.
less storage capability than we have today, and they were doing life support. They transmitted radio, TV signals for many days. Are you guys serious? You think batteries are enough to do that?
How many were there? How many did they take?
Go and do your research. You didn't even know what batteries they used.
I know, but you're the one making this implication that doesn't seem to be true.
So
Yeah,
Scott,
that
back,
was-
to
You're
the,
not very enlightening.
I don't know.
back to the
pause.
tripod.
They probably just took enough. That's all. I mean, if you think that one is not enough, they like to
probably
one.
just took enough. Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't
Back
they?
The
to
silver
the
oxide
tripod.
zinc battery has the second highest energy density to lithium batteries, which means they're even more than nickel metal hydride. That's what they use. They don't use that in a truck. What are you talking about?
Back to the
Silver
tripod.
oxide zinc.
There is
Hold on, we'll get there. I promise, Rally.
Do the research.
Tripod.
and see what they
What was the capacity of those silver oxide zinc batteries, and what was the power requirements?
Okay,
of it?
Are you saying
If that is impossible, you have to know those two numbers.
Before I told you.
You'd have to know those two
Well,
numbers. You have to know those two numbers.
I have
Moderator.
also the number of them too, if you guys
Moderator.
are curious. Yeah, hold on.
Are we saying
There are
that
31 individual fuel
Montreal-
cells. There are
What are you
31
talking
individual
about?
fuel cells connected. There are 31 individual fuel cells connected in a series. They operated from 27 to 31 volts. The power output was 563 to 1420 watts with a maximum of 2300. And like I said, 31 lined up. So I don't know. That's probably enough.
That's probably
Scott.
enough, sure. Yeah. And you think if it wasn't, you think they would give you other numbers? You guys are unbelievable.
God.
Wait.
Well,
Montreal,
your argument now is that
you
numbers
don't know
going out
anything about this.
must
You're
be
just
lying because you a
assuming
priori think they didn't go.
Dude,
Okay, let's talk-
batteries.
let's
They
talk
had
about
to keep the lamp hot. They had to keep it
31 of
cold.
them.
We're talking fluctuations of 100 degrees Celsius. That's 200 degrees
But-
Fahrenheit almost.
But
Batteries
Effie,
did that?
is the
They
battery is,
transmitted.
but is the batteries that I just
Live
listed enough to
TV?
do that or not?
You're delusional.
Is the batteries that I just
No,
is the batteries that I just listed enough to do that or not? That's a question for you.
You are delusional. All I know is
I'm
here on
asking
Earth,
you a question.
let me finish. When a TV crew comes and they want to do a shoot, you see a big old truck coming by with big old generators inside. This huge antenna pops up, and that's how they transmit. You're gonna tell me they did that
Is
on
the
moon in
power-
69 with a tin can?
Is the power that I
Batteries?
described
No
enough or not?
freaking way.
The 31 fuel
You
cells
know-
that I just described to you, is that enough power or not?
No, it is not.
You don't know
All
that.
51
You don't know
batteries
that.
can do that.
You-
Yes,
not
he
in
does.
this
He
You
world.
don't know that.
Let Montreal explain how he knows it's not enough.
No, you guys have to explain how that tin can
No.
did that. I am telling
No.
you, it's impossible for this to happen. Batteries.
I'm going to claim no.
If they tell you that they found the picture right from the moon, you guys will believe it.
I'm just going to say no.
Do your research. I've done mine.
I just did.
Your
Believe
research.
31 truck batteries could do that. Fine for you, my friend.
31.
Keep on living in La La
Why
Land.
do you keep calling them truck batteries?
31
They're
fuel
silver
cells.
oxide zinc. They're not used on trucks. Why do you keep calling them truck batteries?
Because he's stupid.
Yeah, Montreal, if you're claiming you did your research, now it's our turn. You've obviously not done much of research if you keep calling a zinc oxide battery a fucking truck battery.
I told you they took off-the-shelf batteries and they modified them. Were you not
You said they
listening?
took truck batteries.
No amount
like
of
you were using a
modification.
semi.
Dude,
But I mean,
no amount
I
of
literally told you
modification.
what the power output was.
Shut the fuck
I
up.
literally
and
told
let
you
me
how
talk.
much power you could get from it. So
No
whether the truck
amount
batteries or not, you know how much power you can get. You know, you can times that by 31. That's your total power, and then you have to figure out whether or not they needed that much power. They probably the truth is,
No, you gotta
probably
figure
didn't need
out
that
how
much power.
31 batteries did all that power. Not me. I call bull on it.
Well, we say that it works. There's plenty of power.
He says no.
Well, we say
And
yes.
Explain why.
I did my research. I'm not gonna dance for you guys.
So the lunar, by the way, the lunar rover.
My question.
Power, a craft.
Okay.
200 degrees Fahrenheit or 3-4
Go ahead,
days. You're a
Mr.
bunch
Aldi.
of idiots.
There
Sorry.
was more than enough power because there was a medium change.
So the lunar rover, I just looked it up, had 4 kilowatt hours of silver zinc oxide batteries. Okay, 4 kilowatt hours, and the motor on it, 36 volts, only used 200 watts, less than 200 watts, which means that it could have ran that rover. For
About 35
like 20
days.
hours.
What?
No.
250 watts, 4 kilowatt hour capacity,
sorry. I
right?
thought you said milliwatts.
Yeah.
My bad.
For
I want you guys to go to Alaska.
it'll run that rover for 16 hours. It'll run the rover for 16 hours.
You are delusional.
Clearly not.
Delusional.
Clearly, you're just wrong, dude. It happened.
No.
It's the second time today.
No.
Okay.
You sound like one of the bitches we used to pick up. She was a hooker
That's
when we were
you.
young.
You're the bitch we're sounding like.
Wait.
You said
you used to pick up street. Hold on, Scrubs. Hold on. You used to pick up streetwalkers when you were a kid? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Haven't you ever been with a hooker?
No, sir. I have not.
You never been with a hooker? That explains it then.
That's something I should have done.
Explains
Yeah, it's part of growing up.
No, it's not. No, it isn't.
You guys, when you were growing up, you never messed around with hookers and stuff? Or you were probably in high school?
Maybe your mom did. That's explain a lot.
Well, no, I mean, it might be different in your country or something, but in America, you have girlfriends and you hook up with people at your school, basically.
I have plenty of girlfriends. You guys never had the bachelor parties with hookers. What are you, a bunch of fags?
No, I was good looking and I had game, so I didn't need
that?
any hookers.
How many times do I have to have sex with a man in order to be a fag? I need to know before I can answer your question.
You've never been to a bachelor party where there was hookers, guys. Seriously.
Not hookers.
I've been strippers, but not hookers. No.
Well, they're the same thing, bro.
No, some are the same thing. Yes, some are the same thing. At the back,
he reveals how truly fucking stupid he is. Same thing.
Mr. Reality, did you have something you wanted? You had a topic change, Mr. Reality.
Look, if you're a man and you've never been to a wedding that there was hookers there, you're not a man.
No, it's a wedding. I haven't been to any weddings with hookers.
For a white wedding, man.
I haven't been to one of those weddings with hookers. That does sound like an interesting
You've never
wedding,
been to a
though.
bachelor party with hookers and strippers.
I've been to a bachelor party with strippers, and one of the strippers was actually a hooker because she ended up fucking the guy there for money.
Get to a party, that wasn't it?
But
Yes, I would like to say something.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I'm watching this video. I posted it up there where the shuttle's taking off from the moon, and the camera
shuttle?
pulls back. Well, whatever. The ship, the container, the thing they're in is taking off. They're pulling back. The camera pulls back, and then follows them upwards, and then off to the left a little bit. So back then, what kind of, I mean, I know they had a lot to think about when they were taking off. Like, are they going to survive this?
Oh, no one in the room did that.
That was a guy on the ground, and it took him a few tries to get it right. They didn't do it right in the first few missions.
Yeah,
they got it wrong. You guys ever wonder how they put the suits on in the LEM?
Hey,
who put on which glove last?
Oh, let reality finish his thread.
I'm sorry.
So when they took off, and the cameras following them and stuff, do you think that was remotely controlled by them in their ship?
No,
or do you
from
think
the
it was
ground.
controlled
From
by
the ground.
And the delay is what made it difficult for them to
There's a
time
great
it.
interview with the guy that did it, and he says, well, like they said, he messed up the first few times. He only got it right on Apollo 17, his last chance. And what he had done is he had timing. So he knew that when they said 3, 2, 1 ignition, he had this chart that would go, okay, he had 3 seconds before he started the pan. So he'd be like 1,000, 200. So he's doing this all blind. He's doing this purely by timing. So then he begins the pan. Then he has to stop the pan at some point. Then he has to pull back at one point, and he's doing it all based on this little chart he's written out for himself. And then they have to wait to find out, did he actually get the footage or not? And this time we find the last one he finally did.
But when did this footage come out? Isn't this the footage from the first moonwalk?
Moon. Oh no, Apollo 17, the last moon landing.
Oh, okay. So,
and they put out the footage of them screwing it up a few times on the previous missions.
It's a great interview. It's really interesting to hear just how much pressure he was under for. There's this one moment of history that he had to do, and it's just, I don't know, it's a fun interview, I thought.
Now each one they did